Hello everyone, let's see how to find the square root of a number using the long division method. So let's find the square root of 729. First, let's draw a long division table and place 729 in the dividend spot. Now group this 729 into pairs. So while grouping, always go from right to left. So the first pair will be 9 and 2 and the second pair will be 7. So 29 is one pair and 7 is another pair. Now let's find the divisor here. So to find the divisor, we have to find the perfect square that is equal to 7 or less than 7. So let's list down the perfect square. I cannot choose this perfect square because it is greater than 7. So I have to either choose 4 or 1, which is less than 7. But since 4 is closer to 7, so that's why we will choose 4 in this case. So now the divisor will be 2, which is the square root of 4. So 2 is the divisor, and then the same thing will go in the question, that is 2. Now multiply the divisor in the question, that is 2 times 2 equals 4, and write it below 7. Next, subtract 4 from 7. So 7 minus 4 is 3, and bring down the next pair, that is 29. Now the new dividend becomes 329. And let's find what is the divisor here. So the divisor here is double of this question. So that is 2 times 2, which equals 4. So write 4 here. Now the next step is to do trial and error method. Now there is a number after 4 which when multiplied with itself either gives 329 or less than 329. So now let's find the number in the box. So 4 box times box. So both the numbers in the box must be same. So let's try with 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. Since 41 is 2 less compared to 329, so let's try with a different number. Let's try with 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 4 is 12. Still 129 is 2 less compared to 329. Let's try a different number. Let's try with 7. 7 times 7 means 49 and 4 will be carry. 7 times 4 equals 28. 28 plus 4 equals 32. So the number in the box will be 7. And then the same number should be written on the question. So now 47 times 7 equals 329. Subtract 329 from 329, which equals 0. So the square root of 729 is this question. Square root of 729 equals 27. A small observation here is that a remainder of 0 means that 729 is a perfect square. Now let's find the square root of 7396. So first draw a long division table and place 7396 in the dividend spot. Now group this 7396 into pairs. So always start from the right hand side. So 96 is one pair, 73 is another pair. Next thing, find the divisor. So to find the divisor, find a perfect square that is equals to 73 or less than 73. I cannot choose this 81 because it's greater than this 73. So the closest perfect square to 73 is 64 in this case, which is less than 73. So now the divisor will be 8, that is the square root of 64. So write 8 on the divisor side, and whatever is the divisor will be the question. Now multiply the divisor and the question, that is 8 times 8 equals 64, and write it below 73. Now subtract 64 from 73, which equals 9, and bring down this another pair of number, that is 96 down. Now the new dividend is 996. So let's find what is the divisor here. So the divisor is double of this question, so 8 times 2, which is 16. Now the next part is to do trial and error. Now there is one number up to 6, and let's find that number. So let's try with 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 carry. 5 times 6 30 plus 2 is 32. 3 carry. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 equals 8. 16 box times box. So let's try with 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 carry. 6 is 36 plus 3 is 39. 9 goes here and 3 will be carry. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So the number in the box is 6. And then the same number should go in the question, that is 6. Now 166 times 6 equals 996. Subtract 996 from 996, which equals 0. So this is the square root. So the square root of 7396 equals to 86. Again, the remainder is 0, which means that 7396 is a perfect square. Now let's try out with this last number. First, draw the long division table and write 18,769 in the dividend spot. So 69 is one pair, 87 is one pair, and this 1 will be another pair. Now the next thing is to find this divisor. So to find that, look for a perfect square which is equals to 1 or less than 1. Since this 4 is greater than 1, so I'll have to choose this 1. So the divisor is 1. And the same divisor will go in the question, that is 1. So 1 times 1 equals 1. Now subtract 1 from 1, which equals 0, and bring this pair down, that is 87 down. So now the dividend is 87. So the divisor here will be simply double of this question. So 1 times 2 equals 2. So write 2. Now the next part is trial and error method. So there is a number here, and let's find out what is that number. So 2 box times box should be less than or equal to 87. And both the numbers in the box must be same. So let's try with 1. 1 times 1 equals 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Since 21 is 2 less compared to 87, so let's try a different number. Let's try with 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. Let's see with 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 1 carry. 4 times 2 is 8 plus 1 equals 96. 96 is greater than 87. So this doesn't work here. So it must be 69. So the number in the box is 3. And then the same number should go in the question. Now 23 times 3 equals 69. Subtract 69 from 87, which gives us 18. Now bring this last pair down, that is 69 down. Now let's find the divisor here. So this divisor will simply be double of this question. So 13 times 2 means 26. So write 26 here. Now there is one number that is after 6, and let's find that number using trial and error method. So 26 box times box should be either equals to 1869 or less than 1869. So let's give 5 and see. 5 times 5 equals 25. 2 carry. 5 6 is 30 plus 2 is 32. 3 carry. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 3 means 13. Let's try with another number. Let's give 7. 7 times 7 is 49. 4 will be carry. 7 6 is 42 plus 4 equals 46. 4 is carry. 7 times 2 equals 14 plus 4 equals 18. So the number in the box will be 7. And then the same number should go in the question, that is 7 here as well. So 267 times 7 means 1869. Subtract 1869 from 1869, which will be equals to 0. Which means the square root of 18,769 equals 137. Now let's find the square root of this 10, which is a non-perfect square. So first draw a long division table and place 10 on the dividend spot. Now find the divisor. Look for the perfect square that is equal to 10 or less than 10. Since this 16 doesn't work here because it's greater than 10, so the most suitable perfect square here is 9, which is less than 10 but is closer to 10. And the divisor will be 3. And then the same divisor goes in the question. Now multiply 3 times 3 and write it below 10, which is 9. Now subtract 9 from 10, which equals 1. Since the remainder is not 0 and we don't have any pair to bring it down, so therefore put a decimal point here and write pairs of 0. So this is one pair of 0. One pair of 0 after the decimal point in the dividend means there will be one digit in the question after the decimal point. And 2 pairs of 0 in the dividend means there will be 2 digits after the decimal point in the question. And if you have 3 pairs of 0 in the dividend, which means you will have 3 digits after the decimal point in the question. So let's go up to only 2 pairs of zeros in the dividend for the simplicity of calculation. And bring this pair of zeros down, and the dividend becomes 100. Now let's find the divisor here. So the divisor will be double of this question. So that is 3 times 2, which equals 6. Now the next part is to do trial and error method to find this number that is after 6. So let's find this number. 6 box times box. Both the digits in the box must be same. So let's give the value of box equals 1, which equals 61. Let's try with another number. Let's give the value of box equals 2 this time. Since this 124 is greater than 100, so we'll go with this 61. The number in the box is 1, and the same number should go in the question, that is 1. Now 61 times 1 means 61. Subtract 61 from 100, which equals 39. And bring this another pairs of 0 down. Now let's find the divisor here. To find this divisor, ignore the decimal point in the question and just write 31 and double it. So write 62 here. Now the next step is to do trial and error method to find the number that is after 62. So let's try to find that number. Let's give the value of box equals 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 2 will be carry. 5 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. 1 will be carry. 5 times 6 means 30. 30 plus 1 is 31. Let's give another value for box. Let's give it 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 3 will be carry. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 3 is 15. 1 will be carry. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 1 is 37. Let's give 8 and see how much it is. 8 times 8 is 64. 6 will be carry. 8 is 16 plus 6 is 22. 2 will be carry. 8 6 48 plus 2 is 50. Since 5024 is greater than this 3900, so we'll better stick with 3756. So the number in the box is 6. And then the same number in the box should be written in the question, that will be 6. So 626 times 6 equals to 3756. Now subtract 3756 from 3900, which equals 144. So square root of 10 equals 3.16. So one little observation is that the remainder is never 0 while finding the square root of non-perfect squares. I hope this video is helpful and thank you for watching.